From the Corner Office, the podcast that pulls back the curtain on everything talent acquisition, human resources, and recruiting. Presented by Corner Office. Whether you're building teams, leading HR strategy, or hunting top-tier talent, you are in the right place. Please join today's hosts, Alan Ingram and Chatty G, who will share their insights, explore trends, and give you the tools you need to disrupt, transform, and supercharge your talent team. So let's get to work, pull up a chair in the Corner Office, and take a deep dive.
Welcome back to From the Corner Office, everybody. I'm Alan Ingram.
And I'm Chatty G.
And we are ready for another deep dive.
That's right.
This time we are.
Into the world of recruiting.
Yeah, we're going to be talking
the challenges that companies face
when they're trying to hire
great people.
And we're going to be basing this conversation on
a really fascinating blog post
from Corner Office.
And these guys, they really know their stuff when it comes to
recruiting.
Literally.
You would think that in today's world, it would be easy to find great people.
Oh, you would think.
But that's not always the case.
It is not.
So the first thing they talk about in this blog post
is attracting qualified candidates.
Okay.
And it's not just about finding people with the right skills.
Yeah, like if you see it on their resume.
Yeah, on paper.
Okay.
It's about finding someone who's not only going to, nail the job,
right,
but also, really mesh well with the company culture.
It's like if you go on a date and on paper everything looks great, but then you meet the person, you're like,
yeah, the vibe is off.
Oh, yeah.
This is not it.
Total mismatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And companies are learning that the hard way, right?
Well, it's time.
Because if you don't have the right cultural fit, then that could lead to
all sorts of problems.
Yeah.
Like people not being engaged, high turnover, just a bunch of headaches you don't want.
And it can cost a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, tons of money.
So it's not just about
filling a seat.
Yeah, just getting someone in there.
Yeah.
You really got to make sure it's
the right person.
Yeah, a long-term fit.
For sure.
Okay, so what's the next challenge they talk about?
So the next big one is the talent shortage.
Okay, now I know what people are thinking.
Yeah.
There are tons of people out there looking for jobs.
Right. Tons of applications.
Right.
But there's a huge gap
between
the skills that companies desperately need, the skills that people actually have. Oh, so it's like people are applying for jobs they're not actually qualified for?
Or they just don't have that specific niche skill set that's in such high demand.
So what kind of fields are we talking about here?
I mean, especially the tech industry.
Okay.
Healthcare, cybersecurity, those are
hot right now.
Oh, yeah. Try to find a cybersecurity expert right now. It's
good luck.
Yeah, it's like trying to find a unicorn.
So
but they're hard to find.
Very hard to find.
Yeah.
And they know their worth.
And they can pretty much name their price.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that brings us to the next challenge.
Time to hire.
Okay.
Companies are realizing that if they take too long, to make a decision, these top candidates, they're gone.
They're going to go to the company that's faster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because who wants to wait around?
Yeah, if I'm applying to a bunch of places and one company takes a month to get back to me.
Yeah, I'm just going to assume they're not that interested.
Yeah, you're going to go with the one that's, more
on the ball.
Yeah, excited about you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's costing companies money.
Yeah.
Every day that a position's open.
Yeah.
It's lost productivity, potentially lost revenue.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big deal.
So it's a race against time then.
Oh, it is. It's a race.
To find the right people.
Yep.
Okay, so now this is something I've always wondered about.
Okay.
How much does the candidate experience actually matter?
You would think not that much.
Yeah, because the company has all the power, right?
Well, you'd think.
Yeah.
But you'd be wrong.
Really?
The candidate experience is huge.
Okay.
Think about it like this. You're interviewing with a company.
Okay.
And they ghost you after the first round.
Yeah.
Or they reschedule your interview 3 times.
Come on.
What does that tell you?
That they don't really have their act together.
Yeah. Are they going to treat their employees like that?
Right. That's how they treat people they're trying to impress.
Exactly.
I'd be turned off.
Yeah.
Even if the job sounded good.
It's a red flag.
Big red flag.
And that's exactly what companies are running into.
Okay.
Because a negative candidate experience,
it
can really hurt their reputation.
Oh, especially now with the internet. And
social media.
People could just blast them online.
Yeah, word gets around fast.
That's like the ultimate customer review, but for employees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they really can't afford to mess that up.
No, they can't.
Nope.
Okay, so what's the next challenge?
Okay, so this one might surprise you a little bit.
Okay.
It's mitigating hiring bias.
Now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Isn't skills-based hiring like the gold standard?
It is.
So how can there be bias if it's just based on skills?
It's more subtle than you think.
Okay.
Let's say a hiring manager, subconsciously is drawn to candidates who graduated from, like, their alma mater, or who have a very similar work experience to their own.
Oh, yeah.
They might overlook someone with a less traditional background,
Right,
or a different set of skills.
even if those skills are a better fit.
Exactly.
Wow. So it's like they're not even realizing they're doing it.
It's unconscious.
They're just kind of gravitating towards what's familiar.
Exactly. It's comfortable.
Yeah, and they could be missing out on,
Huge potential.
the best candidate.
Yeah. And research has actually shown that diverse teams perform better.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not just about like...
Being politically correct.
Yeah.
It's about...
making smart business decisions.
Yeah, it's about the bottom line.
Yeah, it actually makes difference.
Big difference.
But how do you even combat those unconscious biases?
Well, we'll talk about that in part 2.
All right, so stay tuned.
We'll be back.
For more recruiting challenges.
And some solutions.
On From the Corner Office.
Welcome back to From the Corner Office.
So we've been talking about all the challenges that companies are facing. We're trying to
hire great people.
But Corner Office doesn't just
leave us hanging.
Yeah, they give us some
solutions.
Yeah. Okay, so what are some of the things
they suggest? Well, let's rewind back to that first challenge.
Okay.
Attracting top talent.
Yeah, how do you even do that these days?
It's tough out there.
Yeah.
Forget about those old dusty job boards.
They don't work anymore.
Nobody's looking at those.
Yeah.
Companies really need to focus on their employer brand.
Oh, okay, like their image.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think of it like your company's dating profile.
Okay.
You gotta put your best foot forward.
Yeah, make a good first impression.
Right. So what are you putting out there to attract the right people?
So it's got to be more than just like salary and benefits.
Way more candidates nowadays, especially the really good ones.
Yeah.
They want to know what your company stands for.
Okay, so like what?
Like, what's your mission?
Okay.
What's your culture like? Do you offer opportunities for growth and development?
So it's like, show me that you actually care about your employees.
Yes, exactly. More than just a paycheck.
More than just a paycheck, yeah.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the power of storytelling.
Okay.
Share those employee success stories.
Yeah.
Highlight, your company's commitment to diversity and inclusion.
Yeah, give people a real glimpse into what it's like to
actually work there.
Work there.
Yeah.
Not just the polished version.
Right.
Yeah.
Be authentic.
Be real.
Okay, so...
Transparency.
Transparency, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got your brand.
Okay.
Looking good.
Sparkling.
But how do you actually find these people?
Ah, the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Especially those hidden gems.
Yeah. The people who aren't even looking for jobs.
Exactly.
Because let's face it, the best people are usually already employed.
They are.
Yeah, and they're happy where they are.
And they're killing it.
So how do you even...
snag them?
Reach those people. You got to be proactive.
Okay.
It's like being a talent scout.
Okay.
You're out there searching for the best players.
Yeah.
Even if they're not, actively looking to be recruited.
So, like, how do you do that?
Well, it's all about networking.
Okay.
Going to industry events.
Conferences, all that.
Yeah, conferences, meetups.
Okay.
Building those relationships.
Over time.
Yes, planting those seeds.
So they know you exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're looking for great people.
Okay, what about referrals?
Oh, referrals are gold.
Yeah, because usually your employees know.
They know people.
Other talented people.
Exactly, and they can vouch for them.
Yeah, so you kind of already have like a...
Yeah.
Trust.
A little bit of a vetting process.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
So encourage your employees.
To refer people.
Yes, incentivize them.
Right.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
All right, so we've got the branding.
Okay.
We're networking.
We're being proactive.
But what about the actual hiring process?
Yes.
Yeah, that can be a nightmare. It can be.
Yeah, I've been there.
I've been on both sides.
Yeah, where it just takes forever.
Oh, yeah.
To hear back, and it's just like...
so frustrating.
Frustrating, yeah, and companies are realizing that.
They are.
And they're trying to speed things up.
They are.
But how do you do that without...
sacrificing quality?
Yeah, you don't want to just rush people through.
Right, you need to be efficient, but not...
Oh.
Yeah, not like a factory.
Yeah.
You still want that human touch.
Okay, so how do you find that balance?
Well, Corner Office suggests a few things.
All right.
Structured screening methods,
Okay.
using technology to automate certain tasks,
Okay.
and having clear communication.
Yeah.
So candidates always know where they stand.
Okay. I like the structured screening because then you're comparing
Apples to apples.
apples to apples. Yeah. You're not all over the place.
Exactly. It keeps things fair and consistent.
Okay.
And technology can really help speed things up. You know, like using AI to screen resumes
Okay.
for basic qualifications.
Yeah.
That frees up your human recruiters.
Yeah.
To focus on the more, like,
Nuances.
yeah, the nuanced stuff.
Yeah. What I
Like
thought you
cultural fit.
personality, all
Yeah,
that.
the gut feeling.
Yeah. Okay.
So technology can be a great tool.
If used correctly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Like,
let's talk about that hiring bias again.
oh, yeah. How do you actually
Eliminate it.
eliminate it? Yeah.
Well, you can't completely eliminate unconscious bias,
Right.
but you can put things in place to minimize it.
Okay. Like what?
Well, the blog post suggests using objective hiring frameworks.
Okay.
Frameworks that focus on skills and competencies.
Right. So like
Measurable things.
Yeah. Specific criteria.
Exactly.
Not just,
vague.
yeah, gut feelings.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard about companies doing like blind resume reviews
Yes.
where they take out the name and like the school.
Exactly.
And
So
everyone's
you're
right.
not subconsciously biased
Well,
by that information.
Yeah. You're just looking at
The skills.
skills and experience.
That's right.
Okay.
And some companies are even using AI to analyze the language in job descriptions.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, to make sure it's not, like, accidentally,
Deterring.
deterring certain groups of applicants.
So it's like being super mindful
Yes.
about every step
of the process.
to make sure it's
Yeah.
fair and inclusive.
Equitable.
Okay.
So are you ready to talk like the elephant in the room?
Oh, boy.
Remote work.
This is a big one.
It is a big one.
It's changed everything.
It has.
Yeah.
The world of work has been turned upside down.
So how are companies supposed to
Adapt.
adapt? Yeah.
Well, first and foremost,
Okay.
they need to be clear about their expectations.
Of remote workers.
Yeah, what does remote work actually mean for your company?
Right, because it's different for everybody.
It is.
Yeah.
Are employees expected to be online, during specific hours? What tools and technology are they going to be using to collaborate?
So you got to set those boundaries up front.
Clear boundaries, clear guidelines.
From day one.
Yes, and communication is key.
Yeah, because if you're not in the office,
Yeah.
it's easy to feel disconnected.
Very easy to feel isolated.
Yeah.
So companies need to make sure they're providing regular updates,
Okay.
encouraging open dialogue,
Yeah.
creating opportunities for team members to connect,
Even virtually.
even if it's just virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah, water cooler chat.
It's important.
It's important.
Okay, and what about time zones and cultural differences?
Oh, that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, because if you've got people all over the world.
You got to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
You got to be respectful.
Okay, so technology is what's making all of this possible.
It is.
But how do companies keep up?
I know, it's changing so fast.
That's just every day there's a new tool.
I know, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
It's not just about adopting the shiny new thing.
Right. It's got to be
It's about using those tools effectively
strategically.
and ethically.
Okay.
Technology can be a double-edged sword.
Right, because it could also perpetuate bias if you're not.
Careful.
You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Always put the human experience first.
Okay, so find that balance.
Balance is key.
Technology and
Human touch.
human touch, yeah. And speaking of balance,
Yeah.
what about balancing cost and quality of hire?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one because you want the best people,
Yeah, but you also have a budget.
but you got to stay within budget.
Right.
That's where data comes in.
Data?
Data-driven recruiting.
Okay.
Tracking things like cost per hire,
Okay.
time to fill, quality of hire.
So you can see where you're
See where you're spending money,
wasting money.
where you can improve.
Okay, so data is your friend.
Data is your friend.
Okay.
All right, are you ready for the final challenge?
Hit me.
Retention.
Oh, that's a big one.
It's huge.
You can go through this whole hiring process,
You can find the perfect person,
and then they leave,
and then they leave.
and you're back to square one.
Back to square one.
So,
It's like running a marathon.
yeah,
You cross the finish line, but the race isn't over.
you got to keep going.
You got to keep going. You got to keep them engaged.
So how do you do that?
Well, Corner Office highlights 3 key areas:
Okay.
onboarding, engagement, and mentorship.
Let's break those down.
Okay.
Onboarding is like that first impression.
It is.
You want to make sure it's a good one?
You want to wow them, make them
Yeah.
feel welcome,
Yeah.
like they made the right decision.
Well, it's got to be more than just paperwork.
Oh, way more.
Okay.
It's about integrating them into the team.
Okay.
Giving them the resources they need to succeed.
Yeah.
And conveying that company culture.
Making them feel like they're part of something.
Yes, part of the family.
Okay.
And then engagement.
So keeping them
happy.
validated.
Feeling like they're making a difference.
Because no one wants to feel like they're just a
cog in a machine.
Yeah, just a number.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
Especially with remote work.
Especially with remote work, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's about communication.
Okay.
Open communication.
Yeah.
Giving them opportunities to grow and develop.
Yeah, like professional development.
Yes. Training, conferences.
Oh.
Recognizing their achievements, rewarding them,
Yeah.
promoting a healthy work-life balance.
Because that's important.
That's huge these days.
Yeah.
People want to feel like they have a life outside of work.
Right.
And it's about giving them a voice.
Okay.
Making them feel like their opinions matter.
Yeah.
That they're heard.
Yeah.
So basically, treat your employees like human beings.
Yeah.
Not just robots.
Yeah.
And that brings us to mentorship.
Okay. Mentorship.
Mentorship is so valuable.
Yeah, because you've got someone to kind of guide you, show you the ropes.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah, they've made the mistake so you don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a good mentor can help new hires navigate the company culture, build their network, develop their skills.
So it's good for the mentee, but it's also good for the mentor.
It is. It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
The mentor gets to share their knowledge,
Yeah.
help shape the next generation.
You pass the torch.
Exactly.
So we've talked about attracting people, hiring them.
And keeping them.
And keeping them. It's all connected.
It's all part of the talent life cycle.
Yeah.
You can't just focus on one piece.
Right. It's got to be...
It's got to be holistic.
Holistic. Yeah,
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. Yeah, okay. So companies that are doing well...
They're thinking about all of this.
They're not just...
banging it.
Ringing it. Yeah, they're being intentional. They're putting in the effort.
They're investing in their people because they know that's what makes a difference.
In the long run.
In the long run, that's how you win.
But what's the one thing our listeners should remember?
The one thing.
Yeah.
Recruiting is not a one-time thing.
Okay.
It's ongoing.
It's a process.
It's a process.
You got to constantly be working at it.
Yes, you got to adapt. You got to be open to new ideas.
New technologies.
New technologies.
Always be learning.
Always be learning.
So
create a culture that values talent.
Yeah.
Make people feel appreciated.
Yeah, and invest in them.
Invest in your people.
It's the right thing to do.
It is.
And it's the smart thing to do.
That's good for business.
Good for business.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've mentioned Corner Office a few times.
We have.
And they are experts in this stuff.
They are.
They've got a proven track record.
They walk the walk.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this...
and you're feeling overwhelmed...
by all of these challenges...
Corner Office might be the answer.
They can help you figure it out.
They can.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling...
reach out to them.
Reach out. They can help.
Okay, so now let's flip the script.
Let's do it.
And talk about how this knowledge...
can help you.
Can help you, the job seeker.
Yes, because knowing what companies are struggling with can give you an edge.
It's like having insider information.
Exactly.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
For the final part.
Of our deep dive.
Where we're going to give you...
the job seeker's guide.
To landing that dream job.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to From the Corner Office.
We are shifting gears now.
Yeah, we're going to put on our...
what job seeker hats?
Job seeker hats, that's right. Because we've been talking about all the challenges.
From the company side.
Right, all the things that they're struggling with.
Yeah.
But now we're going to give you the job seeker.
The inside scoop.
Yeah, the cheat codes.
The cheat codes to the hiring game.
To landing that dream job.
That's right.
So let's start with employer branding.
Okay.
We talked about how important it is for companies to have a strong brand.
Yeah, they got to attract people.
But what does that mean for you as the job seeker?
Well, it means you got to be picky.
Okay.
Don't just apply to every job you see.
Do your research.
Yes, research the company.
Right.
Look at their website.
Their social media.
Their social media. Read reviews on Glassdoor.
Okay.
Get a feel for their culture.
Yeah, their vibe.
Their vibe? Do they seem like...
good people.
Yeah, like a place you'd actually want to work.
Yeah, because a paycheck is great.
It is.
But it's not everything.
There's more to it.
There's more to life.
Yeah. You want to feel good about where you work.
Exactly.
Okay, so remember that talent shortage we talked about?
Oh, yeah.
That's actually good news for you.
Yes.
If you have in-demand skills.
You have the power.
You're in the driver's seat.
Negotiate that salary.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for what you're worth.
Know your worth.
Yeah.
And don't settle.
Okay, so how can you showcase those skills?
So tailor your resume.
Okay.
And your cover letter.
To each specific job.
Yes. Don't just send out a generic one.
Yeah. Really highlight the skills and experience that match what they're looking for.
Okay.
And don't just list your responsibilities. Like, I did this, I did that.
Quantify.
Quantify. Show them the impact you made.
Yeah. Results.
Results.
Numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. And be prepared to talk about how your skills can help them solve their problems.
Yeah. What value can you bring?
Exactly.
Okay. So the hiring process can be a bit of a mystery.
It can be.
But remember, companies are trying to speed things up.
They are?
So be responsive.
Yes.
Follow up after interviews.
Show them you're interested.
Yeah, don't wait like a week to respond to an email.
Exactly.
And on the flip side,
yeah,
don't put up with a bad candidate experience.
No, if they're ghosting you.
Yeah, if they're treating you poorly.
Red flag.
It's a red flag.
Move on.
Yeah, you deserve to be treated with respect.
Absolutely.
Okay, so mitigating bias.
Yes.
Remember, that goes both ways.
It does.
Be mindful of your own biases.
Don't make assumptions.
Yeah, about certain companies or industries.
Yeah, do your research.
And
don't be afraid to
try something new.
Yes, step outside your comfort zone.
And speaking of trying something new,
yeah,
remote work.
Oh, yeah.
Has opened up so many possibilities.
If you want flexibility,
yeah,
explore remote jobs.
But be prepared to highlight your skills in communication.
Okay.
Self-motivation.
Yeah, because you're not in the office.
Time management.
You got to be able to manage your own time.
Exactly.
Okay. And technology.
Oh, it's always changing.
Always evolving.
You got to stay ahead of the game. Embrace online learning.
Yeah.
Go to conferences.
Yeah.
Network, meet people.
Yeah.
The more you learn,
yeah,
the more valuable you become.
Okay. And last but not least,
remember?
The job search.
It's a marathon.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Don't give up.
It can be tough.
It can be.
Yeah.
But keep learning.
Keep networking.
Keep applying.
The right opportunity is out there.
It is. You just got to find it.
So that wraps up our deep dive into recruiting challenges.
We hope you learned something.
Yeah, whether you're a company or a job seeker.
We covered a lot.
We did.
But the main takeaway is knowledge is power.
Okay.
The more you know about the talent market, the better equipped you are.
For success.
For success.
Well said. Thanks for joining us.
And we'll see you next time.
On from the Corner Office.
Thanks for listening to From the Corner Office. If you found today's conversation valuable, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share with your network. This podcast is brought to you by Corner Office. With decades of combined experience, our mission is to empower CHROs and talent acquisition leaders with the tools and expertise to assess, disrupt, and innovate their talent acquisition strategies, resulting in higher retention of top talent. Schedule a free consultation by visiting gocorneroffice.com. Let's supercharge your hiring success together.